We're all chosen, my friends. We're all chosen. If you are a human, if you have a body, even if you don't, my friends, animals are chosen. Everything's chosen. That blade of grass is chosen, my friends. So these people out here just throwing the word chosen around. I mean, everybody's chosen, my friends. Everything's chosen for this instance right here in this universe. Everything's chosen. So these people running around talking about chosen one, chosen one. There's no such thing as chosen one. Well, there is the chosen one. The chosen one is everything, my friends. Everything is the chosen one. But I have a message for you, chosen one. And the message is that, well, you know what I'm saying? Because since everything's chosen, my friends, you're chosen. And you fucking won. You showed them, my friends. You showed them. You proved your point. Oh, you proved your point, my friends. You might have recently came through and just basically took matters. You had to take matters into your own hands, is what I'm getting. And what I'm also getting is that they understand now, my friends. They actually see who you are, and they know that they shouldn't have. They regret fucking with you, my friend, because they were trying to really make you fucking suffer. They wanted to see you squirm, my friend. They wanted to see you sweat. They wanted to see you squirm, and you didn't give them that satisfaction, my friends. You got up and you fought, and you won, my friends. And you let them know where they fall in your book, right? Like some people in your book might be higher ranked than other people, my friends. These people, they're not even in your book, my friends. They didn't make the cut. They did not make the final the author's cut, the director's cut of your movie, of your book, my friend. And they really took that as like you're basically like you're discrediting them, or they took that like you're ignoring them, my friends, when that's exactly what you should be doing, is ignoring these energy vampires. All they did was want your clean, pure energy, my friends, because you do have clean and pure energy, and it's very easy to see that you are special, my friend. And you won. This has been an ongoing thing, and these people have tried to. They've thrown every trick in the book at you, my friends. The kitchen sink, the water fountain. They threw every fucking thing that could be thrown, my friends. They threw it. Even shit that couldn't be thrown, my friends. They threw the fucking dishwasher at you. No, I'm just kidding. But they did make threats on your life. They did talk behind your back in pretty sick and sadistic ways, my friends. They might have had sick, twisted fantasies for you to experience, but my friends, those are all their projections, my friends, and those projections are just considered those projections are considered null, my friends. They're considered null. They're voided, my friends. The universe stamped it with a big red fucking null sign. They stamped it with a big red fucking no sign, basically. They stamped it with a big red watch who you're fucking projecting on, my friends. They get the memo now. Now they're not projecting shit on anyone else in their lives, my friends. And this has been an ongoing thing. They grew up projecting things onto other people, my friends. And you finally have taught them the lesson they needed to learn, maybe the hard way, my friends. They might have had to learn this lesson in not the most pleasant of ways. But they get it. They got the message. The message has been delivered, my friends. Very sobering. It's a very sobering message, the one that you gave them. And now they know. They didn't know before. And the reason why they didn't know is because you let them push your buttons, my friends. They knew which buttons to push to get you to react which way. And you just caught on. Your pattern recognition skills caught on. It took a while. I know it took. Maybe it might have took longer than you comfortably might have took longer than you were comfortable with, my friends. But that's what caused you to actually get hip to what was going on, and to actually start to be able to combat these projections getting thrown your way, and assumptions on your name, and just They really wanted to bring you down. They wanted to make you feel less than. They wanted other people to see you as less than, and you're getting the last laugh now, my friends. You're getting the last laugh now. And these people aren't going to do that to anybody else, my friends. They finally realize that the way that they project onto others, and the way that they try to make everyone seem like they're less than themselves is very selfish. It's very narcissistic, my friends. You basically have been in a battle with narcissists, very warlock, witch type narcissists, my friends. They think that they just recently learned some things about the English language, right? They learned some things about the English language. They learned some things about spells. They learned some things about casting spells, basically for dummies. And it ended up backfiring on them because their spirit team literally had to fucking take them from a situation before they fucking died, right? They were about to get themselves into a situation where they were about to get they're about to get fucking some shit. They're about to lose a limb. You may know someone that has lost a limb, or a finger, or a toe, or or an arm. You might have a pet that unfortunately has lost a limb. That's for somebody, not everybody. But you finally you let them be you let it be known that you're not a punching bag, my friends. You're nobody's punching bag. And pat yourself on the back, my friends, because I'm proud of you for doing this. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to stand up to these forces that you go against, because these forces like to manipulate and deceive and trick, and their time has, they've had enough time to, they've had too many chances to pull their fucking hoodoo bullshit, fucking witchcraft, lame ass shit on you, my friends. This shit just doesn't work for you anymore. It doesn't work for you anymore. You're seeing through the illusion, and you called out their funkery, and now you can finally put that behind you, my friends. No one's judging you anymore. No one is talking bad. No one's spreading rumors about you. No one's slandering you anymore, my friends. So just pat yourself on the back, like I said, because you did it. You won. You overcame the challenge. That was the lesson that you had to go through then and there, my friends. There's going to be many more lessons in your life. Every day is a new lesson, my friends. Every day is a new battle. But you got that one behind you, my friends. And yeah, this was just a quick little short message to remind you to give yourself a little bit more credit. You've came farther than you realize, and you've stopped a lot of things that were meant to harm you. They can't harm you, because no weapon formed against you shall prosper, my friend. And God is preparing the table that you're going to be able to eat a full smorgasbord. You're going to be able to pig out in front of all your enemies, my friends. And the whole time that you're pigging out, they're going to wonder why they didn't get invited to that table, and why they're not allowed to sit at your table, my friends, because they fucking wished hell upon you. They wished you to suffer. They wished you pain. They wished you nothing but fucking negative things. And the universe is finally giving them a taste of their own medicine, my friends. Exactly what they wished for you is exactly what they're experiencing right now, my friends, in the flesh right now. So yeah, that was what you needed to hear.